Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 7 of the Mondo Kool podcast. Shouts out, Mondo.
Cool.
Gang, we are out here. It's your boy Mark Lane, aka Some Black Kid 87, and on my right we got
Enrique, Twitch Funrique. You can find me at any Enrique near you.
Enrique.
Either way, here's our Austin's turned to a cell phone, so he's going to talk a little bit.
Say some nice words, Austin.
It's me, Austin. I am traveling. I'm in Texas. Yeehaw. What's up? Mondo, cool, hell yeah.
So Austin's not going to be here throughout the whole episode, but he's going to come back next week and give his thoughts on the hip-hop Christmas that happened this Thursday.
Hell yeah, so stay tuned.
Albums. So,
it was a hip-hop Christmas. I got a lot to say, and I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, he's going to
But this week also good.
And on my right we got...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's, I'm going to...
Say toodles to the man.
Say goodbye so people don't freak out.
Mondo, cool.
All right, bye, bud.
Bye, buddy. Stay safe in Texas.
All right, cool. My battery lasted. I had 1%, so
Oh,
I
you nailed it.
Yeah.
Hung right in
That
there.
was very, very scary for a moment. People are going to get lost without Austin.
Shit, yeah. So let's get into this because we have a lot to fucking talk
Yeah,
about.
this is a fucking packed day.
100%. So let's start this off with the new album / singles that were released last week. Starting off with the Jet Age of Tomorrow. They announced a new album, God's Poop or Clouds. An incredible question. But for those who don't know, that's true. Why can't it be God's Poop and Clouds? But no, shoutouts to them. They're one of the probably least talked about members, like groups of Odd Future. It's a duo. It consists of Matt Martians and Pyramid Vitra.
I know Sid is, but I don't know whether or not they are.
I mean, I think Odd Future is pretty much dead in terms of a concept right now. But
yeah, I listened to my boy Zach Guillory.
Yeah,
he's a producer on this.
Hell yeah, who we recommended earlier.
Yeah, we did. And I guess he had stuff down the pipeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could hear his influence on this track.
100%.
And I liked it. I
thought it was a good little track. I've always been like on the fence with the Jet Age of Tomorrow. They're basically like a blend of soul meets like Aphex Twin style experimental music.
Definitely very experimental.
Right. So it's definitely one of the like least accessible music projects from the Odd Future group, which is a lot in itself. But I don't know, I'm excited. We'll see. All of the like subgroups of Odd Future have had these big renaissances. Sid the Kid's making amazing music now, the best she's ever made. The internet sounds great now that they have Steve Lacy. So
and Mike G's making better music than ever.
And Mike G is the god still. He never fell off.
Best
Odd Future member. But yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully this album will be a showcase of their new and amazing abilities and collabs.
Yeah, this sounds like they're picking interesting people. And I don't know whether or not like how feature focus is going to be or whatnot. But it's an interesting title, and hopefully they maybe with the help of their friends.
And that cover art is sick too.
Good cover art. Who knows? I'm excited to be impressed by. I've always just been kind of like on Jet Age of Tomorrow. So I've always seen like interesting things, but it's never like completely grown into like it never bared fruit.
Yeah.
It's always come out just like a little too early and not as complete as I would like it. So hopefully they've matured.
Oh. Sorry, we're having little sound problems. I fixed it. We good.
Oh, were we talking over each other?
Well, no, the stream audio was also playing, and I forgot because there's no like external sound. So I was just like awkwardly playing, and they can hear it and we can't. But it should be good now.
Hey, I love my team.
Back out here.
Hey guys, also you can check us out every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday we are live. This is a live broadcast. So check us out every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
It's raw as fuck, guys. We make mistakes.
This shit's crazy. But yeah. So moving on to the next shit. Frank Ocean, while you all were checking out for drama with the VMAs last night, dropped a new song on his Blonded radio show. So, you know, it's another banger, as you might expect.
I think the more interesting. I think it's a good song.
Yeah.
But I think the weird boombox video that was on the website.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just like that was even
distracting.
Weird. That was, well, one you could pause it too.
Right.
Like I can just click on. I thought it was.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
No, because I clicked and it just paused, and I was like the song kept playing. So I think that's more of an interesting puzzle than the song. The song's good.
The song's solid,
but it's not like anything too different. It's still enjoyable. I thought out of all the songs he's released so far, it's probably the weakest.
That's true.
I think Chanel was amazing.
Chanel's great,
and I thought Biking was still like so out there. That was like a fun song to listen to, especially with one of the weirdest Jay-Z verses I've probably ever heard.
Probably ever.
Actually,
yeah.
I guess it was just gonna. It was just forthcoming to fucking 444 and all the other strange tracks we would get, especially some of those extra bonus tracks you guys should definitely check out on 444 if you have Tidal or get it through other means.
Heck yeah. But yeah, it's a nice little track. I mean, I'm just appreciating that we've been getting all this new music from him in general after going, on a 2-year, 3-year hiatus of just no Frank Ocean.
That's true.
So,
also, way more features. He's shown up on
and great features. That fucking rap song with him, that's an amazing verse.
He's great on that. He's great on the slide.
Yep.
And I think he's on some other things too. He's been... I don't know. He's kept himself within the limelight more so recently. So maybe I think he left for perhaps like mental health reasons. So maybe he's just chugging along at full speed right now.
And it's fucking sick. I'm loving it. And speaking of chugging along at full speed, Lil Pump out here with a new single, Esquete, called Gucci Gang. And I mean, what do I even have to say about my boy Lil Pump? You already know. I feel like if you've heard any Lil Pump song, you get the gist at this point. He comes out here doing his 17-year-old thing.
I feel like there's like a Lil Pump formula.
Yeah.
And this fell right into it. It's catchy, it's fun, it's nothing new, but I don't think anyone expects anything else.
Right.
So if you like Lil Pump and you just want to like, I don't know, mosh around and like punch shit.
Just all around be ignorant.
Yeah, if you feel like that's where you need to be, then this song's here for you.
It's the perfect vibe for that every time.
And if you thought there was going to be anything else, then you thought wrong.
Then you are wilding, my guy.
Yeah, you should go home. Listen to something else.
Reevaluate yourself, mister.
Yeah, you have to check your priorities.
But yeah, no. He claims that there's a project on the way, but, it's vague. You never know with him.
I just very highly doubt it's going to be more than what he is.
Yeah.
Is surface level just like... It's like candy.
Yeah.
Almost. Just like party candy.
So you're telling me you're not expecting the concept album?
No, it's not going to be... I don't believe there's going to be much substance, but hopefully he'll get some maximized the fun out of it. I think the best example of that is always Ray Shrimmer.
That's true.
Where surface level, they're not too deep, but they're fun. Like they're able to also make interesting songs. So I don't know. I highly doubt Lil Pump is as talented as Ray Shrimmer, but hey, I think that's the bar of where he should be trying to land.
To get that formula of just like even to just like radio level hits too is where he needs to be shooting for sure. And speaking of radio hits, Drum back with a new song, Gilligan, with our mans A$AP Rocky and Juicy J. Fun, wild little video with this one as well.
Yeah.
But same shit, Drum just knows how to make a good hit song. He's also kind of a man, I think less so, but definitely has a formula that he can just make
like these last 3 songs have just been people just like coasting on their their laurels. Like... It's just been more of like B-sides or just more of what you like.
Yeah.
Like nothing was challenging or different. Like it's not like no one's excitingly reinvented themselves. So, if you like Dram, think he's fun, check out the song. If you don't like Dram, this is not probably
not going to swing you.
It's not going to convince you. Yeah. So you got to go home.
Once again, mister, just go home, sit in the corner. But someone who is kind of breaking the mold, Corbin, a.k.a. Spooky Black, coming back with a new track for a album called Mourn. The track is also the same name as the album name. And for those of you who have not listened to Spooky Black or Corbin, he's basically this guy who came out of nowhere with just this sound that you either hate or love. It's just this raw, emotive voice over like 808 beats. He came out with wild sounding tracks, like he was DJ Khaled is My Father, and he just kind of like came in and was immediately kind of just this dismissive figure. You like either hated Spooky Black or you were like, this is amazing. And I think now he's kind of refined that sound. Obviously, it's still really
I'm not too familiar with his prior works, but from this track, what I could tell. Also, I'm like semi-familiar, so I know what he sounds like. Right. But it's never like I delve deep. I don't think I've ever listened to a full project. I listened to the hits, Mark.
Right.
Okay.
you're used to the hits.
Yeah,
of our man Spooky Black.
The hits. And it just seemed like a more refined, better version of what he was doing. I still don't even know if I like it.
It's tough. Like, it takes some time to like get into it.
I listened to it like once, and I don't know where I fall on this. Did you feel like, in my opinion so far of all these tracks, if you liked them before, you'll like this? Because I feel this applies also to the next song we're going to talk about.
Oh, God. What's up now? Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. But pretty exciting, though. Wu-Tang Clan coming back out of nowhere with a new track called People Say. They announced a new album as well called The Saga Continues.
It's amazing.
Expecting to come out in October.
That's a perfect name for like a
100%. And with like a single that sounds like this much like prime time then.
That's one of my favorite low key like references that the Wu-Tang Clan. The Saga Continues. It's like such a fucking nerdy but like cool reference. Yeah. And this song is just Wu-Tang Clan back in form.
Back in full form.
Yeah.
Everyone doing a solid verse.
Nothing different. Nothing.
Still the same style of production you're used to. Still the same level of rapping.
It's good though.
But it is just like prime Wu-Tang. Like, wow, this is just a good Wu-Tang song.
I listened to No Tomorrow. I've kept slightly up on Wu-Tang. Not like feverishly like checking and listening to like everything, but this is definitely like a step up, a cut above, more to like their good stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I guess they're also experimenting less. I don't know. Maybe they just found a groove. Maybe this might be just like a throwback like album for fans.
All this skrelliness, fucking up their name.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're just trying to.
It's Wu-Tang.
Yeah, it's Wu-Tang.
If you like Wu-Tang, you'll love it. If you don't like Wu-Tang, go home. You gotta reevaluate.
Yeah, but they're definitely out there.
That's how we reviewed the 6 albums.
Yeah, if you like them, yeah, whatever. It is what it is at this point. But no, moving right along. DJ K-Slay, iconic DJ and producer, has come back with a new album announcement. It's called The Big Brother, which will be dropping September 22nd. And for this new single, he's recruiting Kendrick Lamar and Mac Miller, the combination you've all been waiting for, I'm sure.
I've heard one song, You Can't Fight the Feeling,
with
both of them, and I think that's a good song.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they know each other enough for Kendrick to bring him up in the Control verse.
Yeah, him and Schoolboy Q are really good friends.
Yeah.
I know they hang out.
So
I hang out with them too, by the way. I'm big deal, guys.
I know all of them. Yeah. But no, it's a pretty solid single. Definitely gonna turn your heads, especially if you're the old head, fuck with real lyrics only type. It's very much in that brand. It's K-Slay style production, so it's definitely
didn't like it.
It's definitely 90s style.
I didn't think it was that good.
But it's
pretty okay.
Both verses are like
pretty okay.
Pretty lukewarm from both people.
Pretty okay.
You would have thought they would have gone harder than that for the boy, but it's pretty. I'm interested enough, although the features are very little washed. We got people like Young Buck, Scarface.
Yeah.
The very relevant and new artists. So we'll see. I'm like intrigued enough. Because I do like K-Slay's style of production.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If Kendrick and Mac Miller aren't going hard on the project, Scarface.
It's I don't know. Who knows? I was just kind of bored by the song.
Yeah.
It just kind of seemed, just like kind of weirdly just not spirited. Kind of just by the books type pop song. But like, I guess like, it's just kind of boring.
It's pretty lukewarm from both of them.
On that note, I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick.
Oh boy, he's off.
Sorry.
He's out of here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take a quick pause. And I'm just going to hang out with the people. Damn. So, Lita? I can't even figure out how I'm fucking up your name heavy, my guy. But you rap, though, from Texas? Shout outs to you, my guy. We have so many albums. Who decided it was legal for them to come out with 6 albums on the same day? The idea that they all wanted to fucking battle with each other is aggressive. Oh, the 209, my bad. I fucked up. I'm bad with my area codes. But, yeah, this shit is wild. We still have one more single and one more piece of news, a quick piece of news, because some people are idiots and don't know how science works, and it fucks up their vision. Spoilers. But, what up, Zach?
What up, dude?
Hey, pal. How you doing?
I heard we're talking about hip-hop.
Oh, I hate that genre of music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never listen to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I listen to exclusively the Lumineers and Mumford and Sons.
Are you fucking with me? Because you know that's like my stereotypical like music genre as your resident hipster.
Yeah, what do you mean, dude? What are you talking about? Hey, what up, Tim in the house?
Yeah,
What's
what
good,
up,
Tim? Enrique is taking a pee-pee break, so we're waiting for him before we launch to the next stuff.
Yeah, so now we get to talk about like white people music, right?
Yeah, white people music, am I right? Taylor Swift out here wildin', speaking of white people.
Hey, fuck Taylor Swift, but yes, she is the voice of white people right now.
Acting a dang fool. How do you double down on something where there's like full-on evidence of you doing it? Like,
yeah, for real.
This shit's wild.
No, seriously though, fuck Taylor Swift.
Tommy Jordan. Yeah, dude, it's wild. And the worst part is it's like kind of working out for her. The video did like way too well. It's got like 40 million already or some shit.
Is she gonna be the new like? You know how like white supremacists like use
Mike
milk?
is doing the thing where it cuts out every once in a while. What you mean?
Ooh. You know how like white people though, like white supremacists specifically, are like milk is now the new vision of whiteness. Yeah. Do you think Taylor Swift is that right now?
100%. I'm gonna put her at like a solid skim milk in terms of her like ranking as a human.
So not whole.
No.
Is
like
whole better? Okay, wait. On a scale from whole milk to like almond milk, nothing against like vegetarians and almond milk drinkers, but like whole milk to almond milk.
Shit, man. I mean, she is pretty almond milk, to be honest. My mic is dropping. Alright, we're gonna nix one of these mics because apparently it's fucking up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna take over this while Mark changes some things. How do you guys like Sufjan Stevens? I thought that Planetarium was a really good album, but I would like something more along the lines of Age of Odds.
Grab a mud cup, boy. Damn, we sipping mud for this podcast now? This shit would get real weird real quick. Gone off the mud for the podcast. Holy hell.
Yeah. Can Chad hear us right now?
Yeah, how do we sound now, Austin?
We probably need to like up the decibels on this. I don't know anything about audio. I don't camera.
Let's see how it looks in the shits.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Hey,
pal.
Why is there only one now?
Apparently the other one was like dropping or something.
Yeah.
Dropping?
Yeah.
What do you mean dropping?
Like,
It was like no sound sometimes or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Who pointed that out?
Austin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Sounds way better now.
Okay.
One mic it is.
Can we close this door? You guys are not supposed to know what's behind this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, where does it say I don't like lean? I have no thoughts. I'm pretty neutral on lean. Like, I don't particularly do it, but I don't hate on it. I don't like pulp. If you're looking at the rules, I don't fuck with pulp. Never.
Yeah, fuck pulp. Pulp sucks.
Pulp fucking sucks. It's just like, hey, you want me to ruin your drink?
Yeah, dude.
Here it is.
The worst shit.
Shout outs to lean, though. That's what you're about.
Lit.
Coors Lights is very lit. Alright, let's fucking... I'm gonna do like Alright,
Hey
so
everyone, I'm back from the bathroom.
Back. Wow, did you enjoy your pee day?
We're people, just podcasting.
When you're live and you're going at it,
sometimes you just gotta go poop.
She's crazy out here.
Yep.
And speaking of shit being crazy,
yeah.
Open Mike Eagle releasing his newest single for his upcoming album, Brick Body Complex, Brick Body Kids Still Live Here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a new song, Brick Body Complex, which is, wow, there's a lot of thoughts.
That's a very intense song.
The most, Michael Eagle, not coming out here with the jokes this time.
No.
Very serious, very to the point, direct on what he's talking about.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, this upcoming album is actually a concept album based on a real part of Chicago history that's pretty fucked up. But basically, there was a point in which Chicago decided to just demolish one of the biggest housing projects in Chicago, displacing over 30,000 people, just booting them out. And worst of all, I would say 90% of them were unaccounted for. Just no one knows what happened to them. They just no longer had a place to live, and people kind of just left them to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this is Open Mike Eagle, who is a longtime resident of Chicago, is his thoughts on how this affected him, seeing this happen growing up, and how he feels about it, and what his voice is on that.
I mean, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a very interesting album idea. So, hey, I love this song. Is great.
The song's great.
The video is great. It's very, very serious.
Very serious.
It's a very sad song. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's like a funeral.
Yeah.
It's very much this thing I had no clue about, and that's
no idea.
And it's crazy that all those people were displaced. So, hopefully, either the album will teach me everything I need to know,
mm-hmm.
or perhaps I'll do some research, because I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea something crazy like this happened. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see a full-on serious Open Mike Eagle project that's really about something important and
mm-hmm.
direct, and we'll see. I think it's gonna be really good. I think we're gonna get good, angry Michael Eagle, and
mm-hmm.
it's gonna be pretty fucking dope.
I don't know if you can take into context the other, the radio song.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be
lighthearted-ish.
No, I just said there's gonna be more of a rainbow of emotions.
Gotcha.
But he's unafraid to be 100% serious.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been kind of serious, but the serious stuff was always told in a joke.
Right.
So this time he's straight to the point.
Right.
And it's good.
It's going to be a really powerful album. I'm pumped. And
I want to cry.
You know what you do when you cry?
What?
Well, water comes out of your eyes.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of eyes,
uh-huh.
Joey Badass has been in the news for causing a bunch of controversy, starting off with a tweet in which, in the boldest move of the century, he decided, despite what scientists and smart people the world over had said was a bad idea, that he was going to look at the eclipse full on, no protective eyewear, nothing, and just stare at the sun and see what happens.
The thing I hate the most is that he used the same logic like people who don't vaccinate their kids use.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally the same. It was like, well, as when we were younger, when we went
in ancient times.
In ancient times, no one had vaccines, and we got around just fucking fine. And then he was like, well, the fucking was eclipses like 1 billion years ago, and people made it, so I can look at it with my eyes. Don't believe the media. Stay woke.
And then 2 days later, all of a sudden there's canceled tour dates, and then all of a sudden it comes out that he has to wear protective eyeglasses now. And I mean, it sounds a lot. He didn't clearly say it, but it sounds a lot like he burnt his retinas.
Yeah, he did.
Which is what's supposed to happen if you stare at an eclipse.
Yeah.
So rough. Womp womp. He did handle it pretty amazingly with the Instagram story. I don't know if you saw it, but basically
he said the glasses.
Yeah, he had the glasses on. Well, no, he had the glasses on, and he was like, "I just want to address all the controversies and just say that yes, I can see the future, and that I'm officially blind to the bullshit." And he took the glasses off. bullshit. And I was like, wow, it's pretty funny.
I feel like there is a level of that you should question the media and things that people tell you.
Yeah.
But being able to discern what is true and what is not is what's important, not just disbelieving fucking everything.
Right.
And then you just end up like this.
With fucked up looking glasses that he'll have to now officially like absol and just like.
No, that's not the rest of his life.
No?
No. It's just like it's
just
like,
for a little bit.
It's like an eye bruise.
Oh, okay. I thought he had to do it for like ever.
No,
I was like, you idiot! Now you have to wear these glasses all the time.
I mean, there are different cases of it, but I'm pretty sure he just bruised his eyes.
Okay.
And that just it just causes a lot of pain.
All right. Well, that's good. At least he'll be able to learn from this and be able to be like, oh well. Guess some things are there for a reason. But, shout outs to him. Learned a valuable lesson.
He did.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten through the news, so it is time to buckle down and get into these fucking album reviews.
Oh, gosh.
Of which there are many to do. So let's fucking start off with probably the most controversial, hyped up, one of all. Of course, we're talking about Xxxtentacion, 17, the debut of the guy who's been causing so much drama. I mean, this rollout has been a lot, from him hyping it up big time on his Instagram stories, and the very realistic looking hanging video he posted with zero context, which, as you might expect, caused huge amounts of controversy. And now we officially have his project, and it's something, I will say. I mean, it's tough for me because it's clearly such a important thing for, like, he needed to do this. He's clearly has a lot going on in his life that he wanted to address, and he's being really hit with depression and all of these things. But I gotta say, like, it just feels a little unfinished, or just like not fully fleshed out. Because I started out, and you get the explanation, which already like building crazy amounts of hype in the album, and then you get that first track, Jocelyn Flores, and that beat is actually amazing, and he sounds amazing over it, like pure rapping, like the style that you might not necessarily expect unless you listen to his SoundCloud, and you know that he does have like a range of styles in which he raps in.
He does a wide range.
And so I heard that song, and that song actually, like, I was like, wow, is this going to be like a really good album? And I was like taken aback. I had to run that song back. It features my boy from Vine, Shiloh Dynasty, who's just this guy who's just famous for doing guitar covers over Vine. He's got a beautiful voice. So I just heard that song, and I was really like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And then after that, it quickly kind of spirals into these just like, half barely mastered tracks, and some of them sound cool. His singing voice I actually liked a lot, more so than I thought I would. But I don't know, all the songs, I think the longest song is like 2 minutes and 30, so it's pretty, I think it's like 20 minutes altogether. Concise. And so some of it I just wanted more. Like, there were some songs that like really interested me, like Jocelyn Flores, Fuck Love, Save Me was kind of cool, but it was just like really, before I could really get into it and appreciate it, it would end, and then it would be on to something else. And I get it. I think he needed to do it. Like, he really wanted to get this off his chest. It's clearly very important to him, as he stressed multiple times. But I mean,
there's even a track called The Explanation.
Right, where he goes fully in depth.
He said this is like basically entering his mind.
Right.
And that he actually said, I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't gone through this or are not interested, then don't listen to this album.
Right.
Basically.
So it is basically for him and for the people who can deeply relate to him on a certain level. So I do appreciate that he does acknowledge that. Like, this isn't going to be for everyone, but like, he needs to do this. And I appreciate that. I think, me personally, I just wanted it to be more of this like perfect like depression hip hop album, because we haven't really gotten really many since I'd say probably Man on the Moon, Kid Cudi's project way back when, and there's just not many like this out there. So I just wanted it to be like the perfect example, like this can be done, and it can be done really well, But instead,
so
it's
you
kind
don't,
of like,
I hate shit. I don't want to go outside. You don't consider that a depression album?
What
exactly?
It is pretty It is pretty much about depression, but it's more vague. Like, it's not as like I'm suicidal and like I'm not doing well and like here's what's causing it. There's definitely like Earl usually has like suicidal themes in his music, but this is like,
you say nothing is as clear cut.
Yeah, like taking on like this is about my depression.
Okay.
So
I it's like, it's almost both of us are gonna give pretty similar opinions.
Yeah.
The only person who's gonna think different is Austin, who, if you watching this live, you can see him in the comments.
It's probably going nuts right now.
His review so far is XXX good album, and so far Austin and Kendrick Lamar have very similar opinions.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar giving the huge cosign for this album.
Said he listened to it 4 times. Raw thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's crazy that Kendrick. I think every review I've seen after have mentioned the Kendrick cosign, just because it's so crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, boosted up XXX's like review, like the amount of people listening. I think he's either like he's in the top 3 streaming right now on Apple Music for this album. Like, it's doing really well.
Cosign like that definitely is big. Is like a huge deal. And I gotta say, I felt very similar. It was just like kind of like these half-baked tracks. Some of them were good, but I just never like went anywhere, or just kind of like, I don't know, maybe that's just like supposed to be that way because he's depressed. Right. But I don't know if it necessarily makes like a very engaging, emotionally, at least for me, album. Like, at points I can almost understand it. Like I'd connect, but then it just ends.
Yeah, and like right as I'm getting into it, it's done. Cause like he kind of gets into things, but like before he can fully flesh out any of the ideas, the song ends. So I mean, Jocelyn Flores, he's clearly talking about his friend who committed suicide, and there's a lot to unpack there. And then before he can really unpack it, the song's over.
Yeah.
And there's even some brief mentions about the pregnant assault and what happened with that. Again, song's done. So I just feel like I wanted more from him. He just kind of teased me with this information, and I don't know, it just kind of teetered off.
Also, just, I mean, me lyrically, sometimes he can be almost a little too blunt and too forward, or like almost like to the point that comes off as kind of stupid. Like, what it's like, was it when you're dead? No one wants to die because you're there no more, or something. Is like a lyric in one of the parts. I'm like, okay, it just comes off as like kind of like try hard, edgy a little bit. Like,
because I think he does wear his like emo influences on his sleeve in this one, and so kind of what also made me a little upset was I was like, oh, this is gonna be a chance where we're gonna get like a depression album with like a different twist or a different edge to it, but then it just kind of followed into a lot of your classic emo song stereotypes.
Yeah, but it was almost like it was the same with like the Little Peep type. I would say it's actually a little more original, but like just like musically, I wish it was just a more coherent project. I wish it just he was able to take perhaps like an acoustic kind of like sad genre and then mix it in with like hip hop, because it's like it just seems kind of like partitioned into like little caves, and it seems like he definitely raps better than he does acoustic like emo songs. It's almost it's so simple and kind of like dull. Like I don't know, because I've listened to like emo like music like other like the things he's imitating, and it's like significantly better, or at least more efforts put in. I think perhaps he's almost like unskilled, or like not as used to like crafting songs in that manner.
And I feel like this was mostly done by him, because like the explanation seems like it was just recorded over like a phone. Like there's no pop filter. There's like the harsh P's when he like says stuff, and like I feel like it wasn't mastered. It was just like he produced this and put it out. Like there's no label touching it or anything, so I feel like that also might contribute to some of the poor quality of the songs. But
like the mixing, I don't know. It's just it just comes off as, dude. It's just like there's just so much like try hard, edgy type stuff that like I don't at all disbelieve like his depression is like a real thing. That's like a problem in his life. I like it comes across, but it's just not compelling to me.
I think maybe it's
like
just
being like sad sometimes doesn't make good music.
I feel like maybe he just was too attached. Like he's not over it enough, so it's just like hard to fully dive into it and talk about it. Because sometimes when something's like so fresh into depression, you're not ready to like fully construct it and see it from all angles. You're just still kind of in it, and that's why I feel like he's not able to fully go into like a deep explanation of like what's going on and what's happening. And we can only get about a minute and 30 worth about it. But I mean, it's tough. And there was also just so many like shimmers of like, oh, this is really interesting. Like, you sound really good doing this. Or I really like do appreciate how well you can rap, but it was just like not enough. Like, it would always be like a glimmer, and then it's over. And
hey,
like,
and also I want to point out, I don't know whether I'm just going to acknowledge Austin in the comments. His point is that it's a no production 2K17 production overrated. Record that shit in the bathroom. And I feel like maybe like a raw album like this could have benefited from that.
Right.
But like I think almost switching back and forth between like well recorded and not well recorded.
Yeah, because that's
like,
the other thing is some are like all the hip hoppy sounding songs are pretty well produced. You can hear them well, but all the full on acoustic songs are not like mastered. I can't hear them all the time.
If you do it with intention and I can understand it, then you're successful in making like I said, like, what would you call it? Like a low-res album?
Lo-fi,
like a lo-fi album. Which there's been, like, Young Fathers has done that. If you guys are if you've heard of, a lot of their albums have like a lo-fi thing going for
Google them.
But their stuff sounds great, and it sounds perfect for that. And to work within lo-fi and just have like that raw sound, it needs to be purposeful. Like, you need to, or like it being, hey, I'm doing this because it's raw. And it just came off as just kind of like just not focused.
Right.
And I think that's my issues with it. It's just unfocused.
And for a song, and then the thing too was he hyped it up as like, I put everything into this album, like I put so much into this, and then for it to feel unfinished is like, it sucks, because like I want to believe that like, you know, he laid it all on this and he put so much effort into it, but when songs aren't longer than like a minute 45 and it doesn't sound fully finished, it's like hard to really appreciate.
I would say like there at least I can tell that there's like engineered like the sounds and stuff, just opposed to if I don't listen to his lyrics, and just kind of like the timbre of his voice, and like the production on some of the songs. I think the emotion really does come through.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it really does. Like, I was driving, and I just went through it, and I played it, and I just suddenly just, like, I wasn't paying attention. I was just driving. And when that happened, I thought it was like, hey, buddy. It was perfect. Ooh, let's get down here, bud.
For those of us listening at home here, we have a cat, and he is on our table going nuts right now. But, yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely excited for what he's going to do next, and I like being able to see these different aspects of him and what he can do. I just wish it was a little more fleshed out, more polished, more to it. Because again, like I've been saying with seemingly every release from the recent freshman class, all of the releases have been so short. Ugly God, this man. I mean, Amine's was pretty long, but it's just short. I want more. They're teasing me. I want more of a full project, especially for your debut. I feel like the debut is so important, and I don't know. I mean, it's tough when you have debuts, when you have all these mixtapes and all these other things, but even still, all he has besides this is the Revenge EP, so it's tough. But he's got more music in the pipeline. I Need Jesus is apparently coming down the line. His members-only collective group has a project coming, so we'll see what he does on the next project. I'm still not discounting him. I think he needed to do this. He got it out there. Hopefully he's doing all right, because that's the thing, too. I hope you're doing good, bud.
Yeah,
I hope everything's going well.
At the same time, we gotta give a review for this.
Yeah.
So it's a big old butt.
He's going to give it the butt.
It's a butt.
I'm going to give it the eye.
No, it's a butt.
Because I see the potential. It's a low eye, but I see the potential, so I don't want to give it the butt.
There's like only the first song I would go back to after the intro.
That song's sick.
Yeah, that song sounds great. It's not necessarily like, maybe not the lyrics. Like, I mean, if you want to listen to them, they're very.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, but it's dark like in like a 16-year-old way.
It's true.
It's kind of dark.
10 shots to my brain.
But
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I give it a butt, and I think he has potential, and I don't know, he capitalizes it. But this is something I just feel is incomplete. And if I spent, like, I'm gonna say, I no one spends money on music anymore, But
he wanted people to, and the album sales look pretty good. The projections came in. It's supposed to move between 72,000 and 75,000 units on the album
so
buys.
I'm gonna say if I spent $10 on this, I'd be pretty pissed. Yeah. I would be very
100%.
Yeah, so that's why I would give it a butt.
That's fair. Okay, considering that, I would be pretty disappointed if I was not on the family plan for Apple Music. Shouts out. But yeah, like paying $10 and getting this, I would be pretty upset. That being said,
if this was an EP, I think I'd be a little more easier on it.
If he replaced this with the Revenge EP, like I would be like, all right, like I'd feel more accepted with just like this is his first like free project. It's out there. I'd be like, yeah, sure. Like this is.
If it was a free mixtape, I'd be like,
yeah,
I'd be like, but it's the fact that.
You put that debut album tag on it, and I have to judge it like more, and it's just. When that's considered, I just feel like it's very low high.
Let's get to the next album.
All right, so album review number 2 is, of course, the second very hyped up album that people have been waiting for a long time now. It is the sequel to the original Love Is Rage, but now Lil Uzi Vert coming out with his first major label debut, Love Is Rage 2, and I gotta say, in terms of the debut project, I like this one much better. There was stuff.
For what reasons? I'm curious.
This was like, I feel like I had my opinions of Lil Uzi Vert because I haven't always been on the train. I've thought he's felt very samey, and you just get kind of this song that's like, it's not even always like catchy. Yeah, and I was just like, where like a Lil Pump is samey, but he's catchy, so I can fuck with it.
Yeah.
A lot of them were just like, all right, same song. I don't really care about this one. This one's kind of good, but this one I felt like he switched up his production a lot, and I think that's what really let him shine through. I thought there's a lot. I'm not just hearing the same type of song over and over again.
I agree.
And so with that, I was really able to like hear his lyricism, what he's talking about.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's what you want to hear.
Well, no, I mean not. I shouldn't say lyricism, but I don't know, emotion and like what he's talking about.
I feel like you did hear a wider variety of voices because sometimes I thought it was a feature, but it's just Lil
it's just Lil Uzi Vert talking at a different cadence.
And I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. His voice changed. Like 4+2, like the third song on there.
So wait, confirmed because obviously that adds up to 666. Is his name Lil Uzi Vert because when you say it really fast, it sounds like Lucifer?
Oh, I never
say Lil Uzi Vert really fast.
Lil Uzi Vert. That sounds like Lucifer.
All right.
Lucifer.
Lucifer? So, I don't know. Lil Uzi the Devil? Anyway. But yeah, I just felt like there was a lot more like switching up and some great features with Pharrell. Or I guess just the feature. There's not many features on there.
I like the Pharrell feature.
Weekend.
Okay. I think
else.
In a way you have to give like context of like what Lil Uzi Vert sounds like almost.
Right.
So Lil Uzi Vert, if there was anybody the most similar, and I'll say he is in his own little lane, Lil Lane. His little Mark Lane.
Nice.
The closest Young Thug probably.
Right.
But Young Thug, they were still pretty different.
Right.
Because Young Thug, I would want to say Young Thug has like definitely like a wider set of emotions that he evokes. I would think. I'm very sure of that he like. Through like songs like you get like a Harambe where he's just like he uses like a deep guttural voice, but then he plays around more with it. But Lil Uzi Vert's more melodic, and he'll rely more on like kind of, I don't know how to describe it as other than like kind of like candy pop type like production. Sometimes other times it'll be kind of like trappy, like just like party songs. But then other times it'll be like, I'll have like a little synthesizer from like, that sounds like it's from like an NES game.
Yeah.
Or like, it was like the beginning, there's like a wacky like accordion that's been like looped. But it's like kind of like, it all kind of sounds,
it
sounds like glossy and like, I say as a whole, it's very difficult almost to give this like a fair review because I came in with like just like
no expectations,
literally just low expectations of like, because I Lil Uzi Vert sometimes I like P's and Q's. I think that song is
which
catchy.
Also I was gonna say has a lot of accordion in it.
Yeah, I like
so
at the opening of that song. Yeah, I like the he likes the accordion.
Yeah.
So first song I liked, and second I enjoyed his voice and everything. Anything he says is stupid.
Right.
Doesn't matter. It's more
well,
about.
I was gonna argue later on. Or actually even partway through the middle, we get some good emotive stuff dealing with Britney, the ex.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that goes throughout this. Well, I mean, Love is Rage. It's gonna be about it, but.
I hear all those lyrics and stuff, but it's just like it's not what you're there for.
That's true.
You're there for like kind of like the experience of like the Lil Uzi Vert like circling of sounds and his voice and like his emotions that are there.
Because it's definitely a vibe that I would say I connect with.
He's a vibe artist,
right?
I'd say more than anything.
And I would like if I was like in that mindset, like that vibe would help me in terms of like a breakup, but I wouldn't like hear a Lil Uzi Vert line and be like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm going through.
It's fun though.
But yeah,
I listened to the first half of this album.
Oh, this is like the fuck my ex, like
yeah. No, it's not like the little peep I'm sad.
Reflecting.
This is fucking like this isn't my first merry-go-round.
Yeah,
like, he'll say stuff like that. I'm like, I was just like something catchy goes over and over again, and I understand what he's saying. Like it's simple, it's easy to digest, and it's fun.
Right.
And sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's really fun, and you want to go back.
Right.
So it just comes up being kind of like a mixed bag, but the fun is pretty fun. Like,
the highlights are really like Neon Guts. Really fun.
Great.
We'll definitely revisit that song.
I think I loved the one that Nicki Minaj liked. I liked a lot too.
Oh, the one that like samples
Haley
Williams?
Yeah, I thought that song was great, and it sounded really good. Let's see here. The Way Life Goes, I thought sounded great. 444 plus 222, I liked. Neon Guts, I liked. Then the rest, I just kind of like either like Exo Tour Life, I do like, but I don't consider, it's like an extra on that album.
Right.
But the rest are just kind of like background vibey music.
Right.
And I think sometimes maybe the production is a little too glossy. I wish it was a bit more raw. It seemed almost calculated, a little like too like clean for me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, even a song I like I think it was, let's see here. I think Feelings Mutual. I like Feelings Mutual. I like
For me, there's the streak. I like The Way Love Goes down to Unfazed is like all good.
So you didn't like 444 plus 222?
I thought it was okay. It took me the second time before I was like, okay, I can fuck with the song actually.
That fucking bumps in the whip.
Yeah, that song bumps in the whip.
It does. I was driving around.
I didn't initially like it, but the second time where I got to bump it, I was like, okay, I fuck with this song.
It's a good song. I don't know. It's just like either you get it or you don't.
Yeah. And he said that actually. You accidentally quoted him.
Oh,
now.
really?
He said, "My music is very much like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't."
Yeah, and if you I don't know, you have to like feel the vibe, and you have to understand it's just like sugary, fun, like fuck you, nothing. There's not much
rebel like, rock star.
Yeah,
attitude.
But there's not like much substance. It's just more. It's pop. It's pop music.
Right.
You know, it's probably the most pop like rap can get in a sense, because it's so bare bones, and perhaps the glossiness is because it's so pop is what pushes me like a little bit to the edge.
Like where you push me to the edge. Hey,
all my friends are dead.
Hey.
But yeah, it just like it does. I'm like, oh man, I wish there was something a little more raw here, a little more like off kilter.
Right.
Because I know his past projects that those things existed, but it was just in such a sea of just it's so much of the same
and it's,
that I wasn't able to appreciate.
Tracks
I wasn't able to appreciate. No, an older albums.
Yeah.
Like perhaps there was like a rawer thing, but like I try. It's just like too much of the same, and I get lost. So I like it. Like there's a switch ups here. It was just like a very low bar, and this album was just more entertaining than I thought. Doesn't necessarily make it a good album.
Yeah.
Does it? Not like the whole album blew me away. I'm gonna listen to it all the time. It's like the most fun album I've ever heard. But there are songs I will go back to, which I just didn't expect. So I'll give Lil Uzi Vert that. And the rest, I would say Lil Uzi Vert should. I know he's doing great doing what he does, I guess, popularity-wise.
He's doing great. He's probably the most popular right now.
Yeah,
he's going to debut at number 1 on the Billboard.
I guess he's killing it. I can't tell him anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I just say maybe perhaps be change up. I mean, you change up production a little bit this time.
But I would say continue to experiment.
Continue to experiment. Go out there. Do different stuff. Perhaps work on lyricism a little bit, but don't. I mean, your cashiness and like your voice is definitely what's your main selling point.
Right.
So don't. I mean, like, find a way to integrate both, but like obviously your voice and something like that is more important.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of wish there was just more substance maybe at the end of the day. I think EXO Tour Life was like I think that has like more emotional substance than the rest of the album does. And I wish there was more of that.
That's true, because that's the peak his like emotionness has gotten, and there isn't really an equivalent to that.
I feel
on the
like
album.
perhaps if there was more lows throughout, then maybe the highs would seem more fun and more like fuck you. But because it's just a high the whole time, just like this fucking rush of just fun and fucking noises and accordions and beep boop beep boop and Lil Uzi Vert like all over.
A great summation.
It loses. You just get before you get drowned, and this time less so. But I still felt almost drowned in it. Right. And I wish, just diversify a bit more. And like, that would make me enjoy any of like the hyper moments in the album, which are hype.
Right. And I would say my thoughts would be that in terms of like what I wanted from this debut was kind of basically to decide whether I was going to be on the Lil Uzi train or off it. And I think he definitely did a good job of making me be on the train. And I'm definitely like, all right, I like Lil Uzi Vert. I'm curious to see where he's going to go from here. I still don't think it's like the best project. And I'm like, wow, this is fucking incredible. Lil Uzi Vert's a fucking genius. I'm going to bump his shit all the time. But I'm definitely like, all right, like I get this guy. I'm interested in what he's going to do. And I found more songs that I'm going to revisit than I have on any other project. I feel like
I wasn't on the train, but I was looking at it from a distance. Yeah. And I was like, that train is sure moving. I didn't expect that. What is your review of the second album of the 6 we're reviewing?
Ultimately, for his debut, I'm going to give it a cool. I thought there was a lot of interesting stuff on here. I thought there was some songs I'm going to bump multiple times. He experimented a little bit with his flows. Like, you got Early 20s Rager, where he kind of does like his like take on what I guess is like the ski mask flow at this time. There's some wild experimental things. But there was more where I was more in tune to this album. I wasn't just like, all right, all the same shit fading away. But there was more songs that woke me up and was like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is interesting. And songs that I actually really liked and really thought were catchy. So I think he's getting better, and we'll see where he goes from here. I think maybe the sophomore might be the thing that fully sells me. But
I don't know. I don't think he's going to switch anything up. I think he knows what sells, and he's killing it in that department. But in terms of like album experience, as a person who's listened to albums, it's just there's a couple songs I like, but as a whole, it's just like it's a low I, but like maybe a high. But like lyric going in, I thought this was gonna be like a fuck you, but to extreme. Like I can't. This is unlistenable, and it was more than that. I thought it was perhaps I'll find more to like next time, and he'll concentrate on. I haven't listened to it enough to figure out what exactly I guess specific things that earned my attention this time as opposed to before. Gotcha. Perhaps it was he seemed more focused in songs. Maybe the songs, because they're more like better produced, I was able to enjoy the sounds. I don't know, but maybe if you can figure out what that is, and next time
hone in on it.
Yeah, I just make more catchy, fun songs, or perhaps if you want to do EXO Tour Life stuff, kind of like do a mix of both. But as a whole, I was like, there's like only like 3 or 4 songs I would go back to, at most. But it's still way better than I thought. I would say, as a person who wasn't excited about Lil Uzi Vert or anything, I could see his appeal, which is something
you couldn't before.
Yeah, which I had trouble like enjoying. Like Money Longer, I'd just get bored like 2 minutes in of the same thing. So I would say like give a shot of some of the songs Lil Uzi Vert has made, and just like there's a lot of variety, in terms of sound, not in terms of like emotions, but you might find something that appeals to you and you'll get it. Right. And if you don't, then just go home.
Just go. Once again, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Yeah. And with that, we're going to move on to the next album. Our man's from Brooklyn, Wiki, coming in with his sophomore album, No Mountains in Manhattan. Nice little follow-up to his original album. This was an interesting one for me because I basically listened to all the albums in a row the first time. And I listened to this one right after the Brockhampton album, and I think it was just like too much of a switch up for me. And I guess I was expecting more uplifting Wiki tracks. I feel like the last debut
I listened to
album
this
was
after
more
Lil
upbeat.
Uzi Vert, and I felt like it was like fucking whiplash.
Oh God!
And it was like I didn't even get to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. And so I feel like once I was more prepared for what the album was about, what it sounded like sonically, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time. But overall, I mean, the man can rap. That's undisputed in pretty much every track. He has bars, amazing flow, sounds good.
I feel like often we have to perhaps give like an idea of who Wiki is.
That's true.
Which we still haven't. Lil Uzi Vert, I feel most people know.
Wiki,
but Wiki is more of an underground guy. He's friends with guys like Earl Sweatshirt. He was on his last album.
Yep.
He's definitely like more of the alternative hip hop scene, but more in the sense of like production style, and I guess it's just like kind of like less like pristine,
right? Like
hip hop, more. I guess it's like alternative, but people typically think it's like alternative is like backpacky,
right?
Or like very like intellectual, which it really.
But like his original group, Rat King, which he was a part of, I mean, the leader of. Is essentially a noise rap group. There's loud, very abrasive production, experimental. That's just like a lot to handle.
I would genuinely say that initially I thought I liked some of the songs, but a lot of it confused me at first, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but like I want to go back, but I don't know if I like it. Yeah. And then over the time, it literally has become one of my favorite albums. Yeah. Like I love the first rap. Yeah, So It Goes is one of my favorite. Like modern, like new rap albums because it's so out there for when it came out.
And the thing that it's like a New York rapper that's making this.
Yeah,
too.
but it's also New York as fuck.
Right.
Like that's so crazy to me that they're able to craft like that's such an insane thing. Craft a new New York sound. Like there's no one else is done again, but it's so New York while not using any of the New York tropes at all. Like, none of the 90s hip-hop stuff is in that album.
Not even a little bit.
No, but it's still very New York culturally, and it just seems so natural, and, like, I could talk about fucking So It Goes forever. That album is so good, and it's so, like, oh, fuck, it's so... What a great and innovative album to come out that, like, I feel like doesn't get the respect it deserves. And I think that might be, like, an underground classic. Like
100%.
Yeah, I think So It Goes in the future might have like a huge influence on people later on, especially their age group and like, oh man, that and Sporting Life's production is just like so nothing else sounds like it, but yet it captures the city, which is so crazy to me. Right. Like typically just like, oh man.
So It Goes gets a Mondo Kool.
Mondo Kool from Enrique. That's the album. So then Wiki Rat King's kind of falling apart a little bit. Yeah. One of the main members left. They're all from, was it Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah, they're all from Brooklyn. I said they're all from Brooklyn. I know Wiki is.
Yeah.
Is Sporting Life
I'm not sure if Sporting Life is.
Okay.
I think so, but I don't. Something about me thinks he's like British, but I don't know.
Is it because Skepta was on that song with
them? I think that's what it is. I was like, is Sporting Life from America? Anyway. But yeah, definitely Brooklyn based. And this album was just like, I don't know, it just wasn't what I was expecting at first. I wasn't expecting to get a lot of...
Oh, also, just quick, he also dropped a mixtape beforehand. That was also very New York, I would say very similar to this.
I felt like it was more... Maybe I'm just, like, not remembering the original. I felt like it was more upbeat, and there was plenty silly songs, like Living With My Mom, and, like, I don't know, just, like, fun, more just, like, him just skating lyrically over, like fun, uplifting beats.
I see what you mean there.
I feel like there wasn't many like introspective, like really dealing with like problems that he's having. Like this album deals with addiction, breakups, just his overall feelings about New York, himself,
his identity.
Yeah, like there's more he's grappling with on this album, and I was like, oh, it like took me aback. I think.
I would say mostly it wasn't like in terms of lyricism, yes, but I thought I think the range of production was what I meant more so. Just because like there is a wild range of sounds.
100%.
That Wiki definitely has an ear for interesting beats.
Right. And he's versatile.
That don't sound like anything else. But yet he's able to rap on it since he's rapped on Sporting Life beats, which are probably fucking the hardest things to rap on. And I would say as a whole, this album I really liked.
Yeah.
I really like, and I wish I could have listened to it more than I did, just because I feel like it's kind of hard. There's a lot to digest in this album. It's just sonically and perhaps even like what he's saying. But in many ways, I think Wiki's kind of like the working class rapper to me. Just like he's just like the Spider-Man of rappers. I don't know, like some like
because he just feels very real and down to earth.
But he literally just like he talks about things like, oh, Peter, when I was young, they told me to rap about what I know, so I rapped about the subway. And like, then if you listen to his like lyrics, he's like, oh, I'm going to the bodega and I'm gonna get this at this place. Like that's so like fucking normal, right? That's just like the average life for him and things he does. He's not rapping about anything that doesn't like. There's no gloating or weird like anything outside of his normal experience, which is stuff that's very, even though it's New York, I can like relate to in a way. Just like, oh, I was going to stop by and get a sandwich at this place and getting this thing, and there's that guy that knows me, or like, oh, taking the public transportation to get to a place. Oh, I'm stuck here, like, and then that mixed in with his current emotional state and things going on, I think it just makes for a very compelling rapper. Just relatable, but also I guess can be standoffish to some people just because his voice is a little nasally, which sometimes puts off people. But I think if you can work past it, you can listen to his flows, his lyricism, and it's not like he's gonna, not like he's a genius like lyricist, but he's able to convey his lifestyle.
He can tell a story.
Yeah, he's a story. Yeah, he's definitely.
He's very much a storyteller rapper.
I 100% agree, and it's just you just have to listen to him and. He sets a scene and a place very well. Beautifully so. And so it's New York again. Perhaps that's a little redundant, but I see. I think him tackling his identity and like who he is also kind of intertwined with his relationship with, was it Princess Nokia? Yeah. Is this stream? I don't know. Well,
yeah, I think we're good. Okay. I just have to refresh it.
I think it was interesting the fact that like, well, he's Puerto Rican, half Irish, and then he talks about like how she helped him like confirm his like Latin identity and stuff. That mixed in with like I don't know, just like loved her and stuff. So he'll bring up other things too at the end that I found like really relatable. Where he brought up like his grandmother when he was born gave him a gold chain. Yeah. And look, I have a gold chain from my grandma with my name on it, which he says the same thing. Right. Like it's just something wild like that. Like I'm like, wow, it's like
the level of relatability.
Yeah, I guess for me specifically in that area, I think talk about being a mutt too, because I feel like I'm a mutt sometimes, just because like all the things in me. Yeah. And just kind of feel like lost sometimes, and I feel like it's something I personally can identify with, and I think it's really interesting to have a rapper like that. And also just like that emotion of feeling like I don't know, mixture of things and perhaps a mutt is also very, very New York. Right. Like just since it's such
a city with so many cultures.
It's such a fucking melting pot where it's just like discovering your identities is just difficult. So yeah, I probably has had it like perhaps worse than me in that sense, just because that's a place where just like it's a constant tension of things, as opposed to I've just existed in places where it's all one thing. Right. But I found it relatable and just like a nice perspective to hear that I don't typically. I was like very, very specific to me.
Then you're like, wow, this is crazy. He's just speaking to me. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I was like, wow, it's like we have very similar. I wouldn't say I'm not half Irish. I'm like a quarter Irish, a quarter Puerto Rican, a quarter Bolivian, and a quarter Argentinian. So, but also if I was just vaguely enough, it would be half Puerto Rican, half Argentinian. Okay. But yeah, it's just like that mutt type of nature of not knowing who you are, and just kind of feeling lost. I feel like he gets across pretty well.
Because the man is just able to like
he brings it up a lot. He brings it up a lot in different ways. Yeah. Like he also uses like his flag.
His flag is the mixture of the Irish and Puerto Rican flags put together, and it's like everywhere.
And the last song is called Lepi Coqui. Coqui is the Puerto Rican frog that exists.
Lepi. Right. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Coqui is like it goes Coqui. It's like a little chirping frog. If you go to Puerto Rico, you're gonna hear it at night. It's just like a constant little cricket that you'll hear. And it's just like the national. It's like a symbol almost of Puerto Rico, right? Like it's every Puerto Rican knows the Coqui. It's the animal of Puerto Rico. Damn. So, Lepi, I don't know whether that's leprechaun? A reference. That's what I thought. It was leprechaun. It could mean something else. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was leprechaun Coqui, meaning like a combination of the two. Yeah. Yeah. So so I thought that was a very interesting, cool